So this video is going to be a little different. I'd like to provide a little motivation, inspiration to you by sharing you some of my favorite running quotes I've collected over the years. Hi, I'm Ralph, and welcome to the Ageless Runner. So whenever I find a quote I like, I would stick it in an electronic notepad on my laptop. And so I've collected quite a few, but I want to share maybe about a half a dozen with you today. Hopefully they'll inspire you and motivate you like they do me. So the first quote is, in running, it doesn't matter whether you come in first, in the middle of the pack, or last. You can say, I have finished. There's a lot of satisfaction in that. I really like that quote because that speaks a lot to my philosophy in running. I don't care how fast you run. I don't care what pace you run. I don't care where you finish in a race or if you're running with a group of friends. Just go out and do it. Start it and finish it. Doesn't have to be a race. It could be a long run. I went out and did a 4-mile run this morning, and that was a big deal for me because I'm getting over COVID. I got COVID again 2 weeks ago. So starting a run or a race and finishing a run or a race brings a lot of satisfaction in running. That's why I like that quote. Now, kind of the other end of the quote and that's starting a race, there's another quote I really like. The miracle isn't that I finished. The miracle is that I had the courage to start. You know, a lot of people get intimidated by running, whether they think they can't do it, or they say, well, I don't want to go out and do a race or run because there's other good runners out there. I would feel funny. I would feel, self-conscious about that. Well, that's all nonsense, of course. All runners there's a very good camaraderie with running. They want to support other runners. Don't be self-conscious. Go out there and start it. And you may be put off by saying, I want to go out and run a 10K or a 5K, but just kind of muster up your courage, train for it, and go do it. I have a little confession to make. I've yet to run a road marathon. I've run several trail marathons. I've even done a trail 50K, but something about a road marathon, I wouldn't say I'm intimidated. I've got this little mindset that it's something maybe I can't do or accomplish. Hopefully I'll get over that, maybe do one here in the next year, but don't let that bother you. Go out there, start that race, and just the fact you're starting it and trying to do it means the world. So the next quote is one I really like because it just says, not everything's about racing when you're running. All racers are runners, but not all runners are racers. You don't have to do a race. You just go out and run, run around your neighborhood, run around the forest, wherever you like to run. You don't have to do races. Don't let anybody tell you you have to do races. Just go out and run for the exercise, the enjoyment, the fulfillment that it brings you in starting and finishing a run. Just go out and enjoy it. Don't feel like you have to do a race. And kind of related to that is the next quote I really like. Winning has nothing to do with racing. Most days don't have races anyway. Winning is about struggle and effort and optimism and never, ever, ever giving up. Again, it's that persistence thing. Running is just, starting a run, finishing a run. My little 4-mile run meant a lot to me today because, I'm getting over COVID. So starting it and finishing it really meant a lot to me. And that's what running's about. Setting your mind to do something, go out and accomplishment. Now, the next quote is really my favorite quote. I came across this a couple years ago. I didn't realize it at the time, but when I did my first trail marathon in 2017, I said something kind of like this, and I'll show you that in a second here. But I said something kind of like it. I've never heard this quote before. And let me read you the quote. Run when you can, walk if you have to, crawl if you must, just never give up. Again, stick with it. If you get tired, just walk for a while, or rest. Now, what I said in the 2017 trail marathon, well, let me show you what I said. 17, running when I can. When I can't run, I walk. When I can't walk, I rest. So, I was a mile 17. It was, a long, hot day. You didn't see the rest of the video, but it was hot. And, I was really, kind of struggling at that time. And that I was kind of self-talk I was giving myself. I'll run when I can. If I can't run, I walk. If I can't walk, I'll just take a rest. But I kept on going, and I finished that race, by the way. This is my first trail race, and I finished it. So that's kind of what this quote is speaking about. Just keep going. No matter what, keep going. A lot of running in my mind is about the experience. Whether it's a race or a run, going out and running in your neighborhood is about the experience of running. And that kind of relates to the next quote. Run often, run long, but never outrun your joy of running. Again, go out and enjoy the run. Don't worry about how fast. Don't worry about, how you're doing with metrics. Just go out and enjoy the run. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the environment. Just enjoy the fact you can go out there. Most people, what percentage of runners running in the United States is pretty small. And especially if you're over, say, the age of 40 or 50. Just relish in the fact you can go out there and run and just enjoy that run. And my last quote kind of sums up a lot about how I feel about running. And that's why I'm finishing with this quote. And it's from the founder of Nike. The real purpose of running isn't to win a race. It's to test the limits of the human heart. When I was thinking about that very first trail marathon I did, that was a struggle getting through. It was hot. It was my first really trail marathon. I trained 9 months for it. It's going out there, sticking with it, training for it, and doing it and accomplishing it. It really tests your heart, really tests your motivation. So I hope you found some of these quotes motivating and inspirational. I've got a lot more, but I don't want to share too many with you. I want to keep it to the the half dozen or so that I really like. But I hope you found them fun. Hope you found them motivational. Please use them in your life as you see fit. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love if you would scroll down and hit that like icon. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you stick around and be a subscriber. Please consider subscribing. Thank you so much and happy running.